following video contains an amazing run and gun build. The development team have buffed this build for your gaming pleasure. Designed for fast-paced, high-intensity action. Viewer discretion is advised.
That's what makes you dangerous. It's not the mask. It's not the skills. It's your ideology.
What do you believe in, huh? What do you believe in?
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you a stranger.
You want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. How is humanity saved if it's not allowed to evolve?
Plum here, g'day champions, how's it going? And welcome back to another Division 2 build video. So it's been some time since I've done a PVE build, and with all the rework since Title Update 16, I thought I'd revisit an old favourite and see how it performs in the current game. At the start of the year I made a cracking good Chameleon Striker build. It now has over 36,000 views and 1.1k likes. In Title Update 16, the devs gave Striker a serious buff, basically taking the chest and the backpack bonuses and applying them to the standard 4-piece bonus. So can we take a previously awesome build and make it even better? Yes we can. I've designed the build so you don't even need to use skills, but you can if you want to. This is an awesome fast-paced run and gun build that basically anyone can make and use. Righto, so welcome back to all you amazing subscribers, and if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying the content, you know what to do, pull your finger out and give that sub button a click. And please everyone engage with this video, a like, a share, a comment, it all helps with the magic and the wizardry of the YouTube algorithm. Doing all this stuff is going to help the channel and our amazing community grow. And don't forget to check me out on all my other socials, including Twitch, Discord, Facebook, the works. All the links for that stuff is in the description. Righto, with all that said and done, let's get into the build. My updated Chameleon Striker build. 5 reds, 2 blues, 1 skill tier, sitting at 1.1 million armor. Now the core attributes are kind of player preference, so you can play around with them and see what balance works for you. We're going to be using 4 pieces of the Striker gear set, 1 Fenris, and the Memento backpack. For our specialization, we're going to be using Gunner. It's one of the best choices when it comes to run and gun builds in PvE. Gunner's going to provide us with 10% armor on kill, which does help with our survivability, and that armor on kill works great in combination with our backpack. Every third reload is 50% faster. While using Gunner, we're also going to unlock the Banshee Pulse that you can definitely use if you want to use that as a skill. It's great for confusing NPCs before engaging, or you can use it on their spawn to trap them in their spawn points and get easy kills. Gunner's also going to replenish ammo every 60 seconds for both you and your team, and we get a 5% rate of fire boost on kill for 5 seconds. Each kill will refresh the buff. Now for the gun, it's the Chameleon.
The Chameleon is coated in a light refracting technology designed by a DARPA research team.
Maxed out, it is proficient, but I've not upgraded it, so this build's damage could go way higher. The talent Adaptive Instincts has 3 parts to it. Hitting 30 headshots grants a plus 20% crit hit chance and 50% crit hit damage for 45 seconds. Hitting 75 body shots grants a plus 90% weapon damage buff for 45 seconds. And hitting 30 leg shots grants a 150% reload speed for 45 seconds. Buffs refresh when you're out of combat. So if you clear an area fast enough, your buffs will be active for the next room and you won't need to regain those stacks. Now swapping weapons cancels all the stacks and the buffs, so my recommendation when using the Chameleon is just to use the one gun. Don't try and be a hero with a bunch of unnecessary gun swapping. Trying to proc the Grudge in the orbit to get 2 seconds of 5 million % crit hit damage? You don't need to, just go old school and use the one gun. So in saying that, we're not even looking at the other guns. Remember, this is a Chameleon build. For the mask, it's the first of 4 pieces of Striker. We get 15% weapon handling, 15% rate of fire, and Striker's Gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, stacking 100 times. Now this damage and stack amount is what we used to get from the chest and the backpack talent bonuses. The damage increase is amplified damage, and each stack amplifies on top of itself. So it's not 65% amplified damage, it's 91%. All this mathematics shit is pretty confusing. There's a very handy Reddit post that breaks it all down, I'll pop the link for that in the description. We do lose 1 stack per second if we've got between 0 and 50 stacks, and 2 stacks per second if we're between 50 and 100 stacks. So you definitely want a fast RPM weapon, and you want to be landing your shots to make the most of these bonuses. For the attributes on this, I've gone with max armor, crit hit damage, and a max crit hit damage mod. For the chest piece, I've opted to use 1 piece of Fenris for that 10% AR damage. We've got weapon damage, crit hit chance, and a crit hit chance mod. The talent I'm going to be using is Obliterate. Critical hits increase weapon damage by 1% for 5 seconds, and this can stack 25 times. Each crit refreshes the buff timer, and even though this does say increases, again, obliterate is amplified damage. I know some players might be saying use the striker chest to increase the amount of stacks that we can get. But to be honest, getting and keeping 200 stacks in most activities is nearly impossible. But like always, try it out for yourself and let me know what you prefer in the comments. For the holster, we've got the second piece of striker, max weapon damage and max crit hit damage. The knees are the third striker piece, max weapon damage and max crit hit damage here. And the gloves are the fourth piece of striker, again, max weapon damage and max crit hit damage. And the last item on the build is our backpack, and it's that amazing exotic backpack, the Memento.
I took from those who watched, hunted, and collected, until only their shadows remained. Now my watch has ended, so yours may begin.
This is one of the best exotics in the game for both PvE and PvP content. Firstly, Memento gives us one of each core attribute, so we get another weapon damage roll, another armor roll, and a skill tier. And for the mod, we've got a 6% crit hit chance mod. The talent's called Kill Confirmed. Enemies you kill will drop trophies on death. Collecting trophies gives you both a short-term and a long-term buff, and the short-term buffs do scale with the number of core attributes that you have on your build. The base short-term buffs are 5% weapon damage, 10% bonus armor, and 5% skill efficiency, but these scale with our core attributes. So on this build and setup, each trophy that we collect will give us a 25% weapon damage buff, 20% bonus armor, and 5% skill efficiency. Collecting more trophies means we're going to get more stacks. When we're at full stacks, we're going to have a 30% weapon damage buff, 30% skill efficiency, and 3% armor regen. Remember, if you die, you're going to lose your stacks. For this kind of aggressive run and gun build, I do feel like Memento is the best option here. So that's the build. Now what skills do you want to be using? Well, as you all saw in that opening gameplay, for most of it, I didn't even use any skills, and you don't need to either. To be honest, on any of these run and gun types of builds, any skill will do. As I mentioned before, using Gunner will unlock the Banshee Pulse, so that's pretty awesome to use because it does confuse multiple NPCs and makes it super easy to mow them all down. And I still feel the Assault Drone is one of the best skills for solo PvE. While the base damage isn't amazing, it does increase with our Memento trophies, and it's going to take NPC aggro, meaning less of the NPCs are going to be shooting at you. But again, like always, play around with whatever skills you like, and make sure it works and fits you and your playstyle. Fine print time champions, the stat sheet. We're sitting at 52.5% crit hit chance and 117% crit hit damage. The chameleon buffs will cap our crit hit chance and take us to 167% crit hit damage. Our offensive stats were at 85% all weapon damage and 40% AR damage. Adding the weapon damage from Memento and the chameleon buffs, we're now up to 245% weapon damage. That's fucking crazy. Now that's not including all the amplified damage that we get from strikers and obliterate, which is over 115% amplified damage. Yeah, champions, this build's got damage coming out of the wazoo. So that's the build. The devs gave Striker a huge buff, and you need to try this build for yourselves because it's a lot of bloody fun. Run and gun your little hearts out, no skills required, but feel free to use them if you like. So what do you reckon? Are you going to be a champion and have a crack at my new and improved Chameleon Striker build? What modifications would you make? Let me know down below. And like always, show your content creators your support. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. All this kind of stuff really does help support myself and the channel. So that's going to wrap it up for this one, and I will catch you all in the next one. I'm Plum out.